Kaushik Ranchod, and today's question is, I got my I601 waiver approved, now what do I do? So, to be clear, we're talking about the I601 waiver, not the I601A. And as a refresher, once you get the I601 waiver, you can get a green card, and that allows you to get a driver's license and social security number. And this is really awesome because it's going to help transform your life once you have these documents. If you do get the approval, then you are able to work legally in the United States, drive without having to worry about being pulled over for driving without a license, and have a valid social security number. So let's talk about the nuts and bolts now. First of all, the I601A versus the I601. The I601A allows you to get the waiver approved in the United States, while the I601 is generally where your spouse is outside of the United States. So we just had a waiver approved, I601, where they're outside the United States, and that was the question. Well, what happens next? So the next step after the waiver is approved involves receiving a packet of information from the consulate to schedule a new appointment. Generally, you'll get this packet relatively quickly as soon as the consulate gets the approval from the USCIS, which is generally a couple of days. They will send via DHL a packet for your appointment. And if you haven't received this within 30 days, then you should have your attorney contact the consulate to see what is happening. And depending upon when you had the interview, you may need additional documents corrected in order to update your information, and it depends upon how long your interview was. So if it was over a year, then you probably will need, for instance, a new medical. You may need biometrics taken again. If it's less than a year, then you may not need your documents updated, and the embassy will also let you know as well. After you get the approval, the process moves relatively quickly. You will receive your passport. The U.S. Embassy will keep your passport, and then you'll receive your passport within generally about 2 to 3 weeks, and you also receive packet 4, and you will take packet 4 then with you to the United States when you enter the United States at the port of entry, and you'll provide that packet 4 to the port of entry officer, and then they'll stamp your passport with a temporary I-551 stamp. That's just basically a temporary green card. And then when you enter the United States, usually after about 2 to 3 weeks, you'll get your social security card, and within about 6 months you'll get your actual physical green card. And if you've been married less than 2 years, it'll be a conditional green card, which you'll have to remove the conditions before 2 years, after generally 1 year and 9 months. So I hope this video served you and answered your question of what happens after you get your waiver approved. And again, this is for the I601 waiver, where your spouse is residing outside the United States and they need the waiver to come back into the United States. It's an extreme hardship I601 waiver where you're married to a U.S. citizen. That's most of the cases that we do. And I look forward to answering more questions in the future. And I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. By watching this video and taking steps to become legal in the United States, you're bettering yourself. And by bettering yourself, you're bettering your family. And by bettering your family, you're bettering our country. Thank you, and until next week. Click on the pictures above that best describes the service you're seeking. I'm attorney Kaushik Ranchod with the Ranchod Law Group. Whether you're trying to determine the type of visa or green card you qualify for, or just need tips on what to look for in hiring an immigration attorney, we have the answers. My team of professionals is comprised of many immigrants, and we understand how complex the process can be on your own. Give my office a call today for a free consumer's guide on hiring an immigration attorney.